Welcome back to Deep Body Lab, where we uncover the hidden biological truths that govern your health and determine your longevity. High blood pressure is often misunderstood as a simple plumbing issue, where too much fluid puts immense pressure on pipes. However, leading research suggests the real problem lies not in the fluid volume, but in the structural integrity of vessels. Dr. Kent has identified that hypertension is primarily a problem of the pipe itself, rather than just the hydraulic fluid. We must look deeper into the cellular walls of your arteries to understand why pressure rises and remains dangerously high. There are four hidden mechanisms that silently destroy your cardiovascular system long before you ever notice any significant symptoms. A healthy artery is flexible, smooth, and capable of adapting to changes in blood flow without creating dangerous resistance. But when these four mechanisms fail, the arteries become rigid traps that force your heart to work harder every day. The first hidden culprit is the destruction of the Glycocalyx, a crucial protective layer that lines your entire vascular system. Imagine a microscopic forest of hair-like structures that acts as a non-stick coating, preventing debris from clinging to walls. This biological Teflon ensures that blood cells slide smoothly and protects the sensitive endothelium from direct damage and inflammation. However, high blood sugar and chronic inflammation act like a razor, shaving off this delicate protective layer over time. Once this shield is gone, the arterial wall becomes sticky and exposed, inviting cholesterol and calcium to adhere immediately. This is the very beginning of plaque formation, a process that starts microscopically long before a blockage becomes visible. As the vessel narrows due to this damage, the pressure naturally rises to push the same amount of blood through. Research clearly shows that uncontrolled glucose levels are the primary enemy of this fragile but essential vascular defense system. Without a healthy glycocalyx, your arteries lose their primary defense against the friction and turbulence of your own blood flow. This initial damage sets the stage for the second, more rigid problem that turns your flexible vessels into stone. The second mechanism is arterial stiffness and calcification, where your blood vessels lose their natural elasticity and become hard. Healthy arteries act like rubber bands, expanding with every heartbeat to absorb pressure and maintain a steady flow. Over time, the elastic fibers break down and are replaced by stiff collagen, making the vessel wall unyielding and rigid. Even worse, calcium deposits begin to accumulate in the vessel walls, literally turning your soft arteries into solid bone. This process, known as vascular calcification, forces the heart to pump with immense force to move blood through rigid pipes. Your heart muscle thickens to cope with this resistance, leading to left ventricular hypertrophy and eventual heart failure risks. While often considered a normal part of aging, accelerated stiffening is a pathological process driven by nutrient deficiencies. The body loses its ability to direct calcium into bones, allowing it to settle in soft tissues like arteries. This calcification is essentially a misguided repair attempt by the body to patch up the damage from chronic inflammation. When the pipes cannot expand to accommodate blood flow, the pressure inside must rise drastically, defining systolic hypertension. Beyond structure, there is a chemical messenger that controls relaxation, and its absence is the third major cause. The third mechanism is the critical deficiency of nitric oxide, a gas molecule responsible for signaling arteries to relax. Nitric oxide is produced by the lining of your blood vessels and tells the smooth muscle cells to dilate. When nitric oxide levels are sufficient, your blood pressure naturally regulates itself throughout the day without any conscious effort. However, as we age or suffer from metabolic damage, our ability to produce this vital gas diminishes rapidly. Without this relaxation signal, your arteries remain in a state of chronic constriction, keeping blood pressure permanently elevated. The damage to the endothelial lining we discussed earlier directly impairs the factory that manufactures this essential vasodilator gas. Even your breathing habits play a role, as mouth breathing bypasses the production of nitric oxide in the sinuses. By the age of 40, your production of nitric oxide may drop by 50%, creating a hypertension crisis. Finally, we must look at the master regulator of fluid volume and salt balance, the insulin-kidney connection. The fourth mechanism involves the relationship between high insulin levels and your kidney's ability to excrete excess sodium. High levels of insulin, caused by insulin resistance, signal your kidneys to aggressively hold on to sodium and water. This fluid retention increases blood volume, which raises pressure, regardless of how little salt you actually eat. Many people cut salt, but fail to lower insulin, which explains why low-sodium diets often fail to fix hypertension. It is a vicious cycle where metabolic dysfunction directly hijacks your renal system, forcing blood pressure to remain high. These four mechanisms create a perfect storm, damaging structure, increasing stiffness, preventing relaxation, and increasing fluid volume. But there is good news. You can reverse these processes using a specific four-step protocol designed to restore function. Let's begin with the first step, restoring the glycocalyx to heal the inner lining of your blood vessels. Priority 1 is to stabilize your blood sugar below 140 to stop the ongoing destruction of the layer. Introduce foods rich in sulfur and polyphenols, such as cruciferous vegetables and wild blueberries, to feed the endothelial layer. Supplementing with fucodine, a compound found in brown seaweed, has been shown to help regenerate the damaged glycocalyx. As this layer heals, your arteries regain their non-stick properties, preventing further plaque buildup and reducing inflammation instantly. Step 2 focuses on decalcification, moving calcium out of your arteries and putting it back into your skeletal system. You need the synergistic power of vitamin K2 in the MK7 form, combined with vitamin D3 and magnesium. Vitamin K2 activates proteins that grab calcium from soft tissues and transport it safely into your bone matrix. Over time, this protocol can help restore elasticity to arterial walls, significantly lowering the systolic pressure reading. Magnesium plays a supporting role by relaxing the smooth muscles surrounding the arteries, further aiding in pressure reduction. Step 3 is to regenerate nitric oxide production to ensure your vessels can dilate and relax on command. Perform isometric hand grip exercises at 30% intensity for 2 minutes, which signals a massive release of nitric oxide. Switch to nasal breathing exclusively, especially during sleep and exercise, to harness the natural production of gas in sinuses. Support this pathway with folate, vitamin C, and vitamin E to prevent the breakdown of nitric oxide in the blood. By restoring this chemical signaling, you allow your cardiovascular system to naturally lower pressure without relying solely on medication. The final step is the insulin reset, designed to signal your kidneys to release excess sodium and water. Adopt an intermittent fasting schedule, such as 16-8, to lower baseline insulin levels and improve metabolic sensitivity. Incorporate resistance training to make your muscles hungry for glucose, which drastically reduces the need for high insulin. As insulin drops, your kidneys will naturally flush out retained sodium and water, dropping blood volume and pressure quickly. These 4 steps work together to address the root causes, repairing the pipes rather than just managing the fluid. By following this protocol, you are not just treating numbers on a screen, you are rebuilding your vascular architecture. If you found this scientific breakdown helpful, please subscribe to Deep Body Lab for more deep dives into human biology. Take control of your arteries, heal your body from the inside out, and I will see you in the next video.